Well, it's gotta be done.
Can't believe he actually did that to himself.
Not too much happening on this page, but let's go ahead and start it. Let's go ahead and crease the paper, and I'm just gonna pin it down with a paper clip. I'm gonna start sketching out all the designs, and you might be wondering, why did I actually sketch out his full face? Well, the reason for that, if I were to skip this part, it would actually make it much more difficult because it would limit where I can actually put down that red paint. Now, do I need to paint out the whole face? Probably not. I could have gotten away with just sketching it out. But I want to make sure this book is extremely accurate to the show, and I doubt he would have just left the face blank and then added the red paint to scratch out his face. So although I am going to be scratching it out anyways, I think it's important to actually add it. Now, do you have to do this yourself when you're working on your journal? Absolutely not. You can skip that part entirely. And I'm just going to finish off this drawing with a little bit of hatching. And again, not adding too much to this one because I am going to be destroying it anyways. Using my brush pen, I'm going to darken up all the letters. And you are going to see me here checking back and forth just to make sure that paint doesn't bleed through. Because sometimes I am a little heavy-handed with that ink. And just so the pages do look a little consistent from one to the other, I'm going to be using gouache for this one. This will just make sure that other pages match each other. And it does add a little variety to these pages. So now that I have that done, let's go ahead and write out his whole autobiography here. And written down here, he's just talking about how he himself is a little strange.
If you add water to it, you can smudge some of that red.
And I think it's important to smudge a little bit of that red right there, just so it doesn't look so nice. Now I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'm using the brand HIMI. It's a little on the pricey side, but I think it's totally worth it. And here I'm just reloading my palette so that I have a brand new red that isn't mixed with any other color. Now I'm going to start off by using an extremely transparent red. This will just allow me to build up different layers. So after using a red gouache, I'm going to follow it up with a red acrylic. And because that acrylic is really thin, I'm going to follow it up with a white acrylic afterwards, just so that drawing's not peeking through. And just so that ink doesn't look too brand new, I'm going to brush in just a little bit of a black acrylic. And just to bring that color back, a little bit extra red on top. Now doing it this way, you'll add a lot more texture and you'll make it look a little more interesting opposed to just using a solid red.
When did I smudge white on my journal?
And at some point I managed to spill white paint on my journal.
I guess it doesn't really matter, honestly. It's supposed to look old and worn anyways.
And I might have gone a little overboard with that red, but it's not like I can really take it back anyways. So when adding that red, take it much slower than I did.
Honestly, I have my doubts, but I gotta try it for myself. I get the idea. Diet Coke isn't going to be sticky because it doesn't have any sugar. It's just a bunch of sweetener. My concern is that the soda isn't going to be dark enough to stain an already weathered page. But let's go ahead and give it a try. It's a good idea. I'd like it to be a little darker.
And nice little secret, you can still see his face.